Okay, it looks like 8:30 now, so let's get started. Well, tonight I'm hoping to have a pretty interesting show. There's two main themes to it. The first one being that of showing you a webcam that I just got a couple of days ago that I have not opened up yet. It's a 4K webcam. And total disclosure here, it was sent to me by the company NEXIGO in order to do a review of it, but they don't have any say in what I'm going to say about it. So I'm hoping it does well, but we'll find out. The second thing is, and I think I'll start with the second thing, I'm going to talk about Black Friday a little bit. Black Friday is here upon us, right? And I just want to make sure that we are, let me see, it looks like it might be bugging out a little bit with the sound, and make sure that we, all have some ideas of, what to look for in terms of computer equipment. Now, I have particular areas that I look at, some I actually visit, but there are always others. And I'll briefly mention, some of those, but I'll focus on the top three first of all. So let me switch over to a screen capture. And I'll start off with, I guess, the first one, which would be here, screen 2, which would be Amazon. Obviously, Amazon has just about everything. Now, whether they have the best price or not, that all depends. You always have to be very careful matching up the prices at Amazon. Sometimes even the same particular item, they'll have 3 or 4 different prices to it. Now, whether you want to go through their marketplace or directly from Amazon, I prefer getting it directly from Amazon, but I have gone to the marketplace in a number of cases. But you're always a little bit of a hit or miss on that, whether or not you're going to see rapid delivery or not, if you know what I mean. In general, Amazon, for me, it's been 2 days generally. A lot of times only 1 day, and rarely does it go beyond that if it's coming directly from them. But you never know. But looking at this website here, I see that they don't have any particular Black Friday. Let's see, they get an early Black Friday one, save up to 45%. Let me click on that and see what they're offering. Now, obviously, I'm interested in the electronics, and computers. So let me go ahead and see if I can find out where that's broken down here. They do have some electronics right up in front. And they have an electronics gift guide here. Let me see. I think we get to pick which groupings that we want here at Amazon, right? What type of things we're looking for. Tools, home security, Kindle. Let's see here. Is there any drop down here that I could pick a different department? Accessories. I don't necessarily see it jumping out at me, which is, the first thing to consider here. Obviously, if you're interested in, let's see, there's no choice to drop down. Now, I'm not that familiar with it. I don't go to the Amazon Black Friday sales that often. Matter of fact, this is the first live stream that I'm doing where the live stream is occurring right before Black Friday. So that's something to consider here. But let's see. They have everything by category. Let me see, electronics gifts guide. There's a bunch of little gadgets here. Anybody who likes to listen to vinyl, they got a nice little record player. I would hope that that's a USB connected record player, but you never know. So this is one area you could go to and take a look and see, what you're looking for. Here's computers and gadgets right here. This is where I'd probably spend most of my time. I see a Logitech C920 webcam, and I see SD cards. I see camera accessories, it looks like. and a lot of other little gadgets. Oh, here's an SSD, $116 for a Samsung 980. That's good, I guess. You know, I'd like it to have a little bit lower, but that's not necessarily a bad price at all. I will be looking for a new printer at some point, probably not for purchase on Black Friday, but shortly thereafter. But it'll be a color laser is what I want to get. And here are some right now. Here are some HP Office jets, but they don't look, well, here's color. But those are not the types. I want some that can do some high volume. I still print hard copy in a lot of cases, so that's something to consider. So there's a lot of places to look here. I'll probably spend some time here, not Thursday night. We'll be having a dinner at family, but probably first thing Friday morning, Black Friday, take a look at this before I head out. So let me talk about the second one that I'd be covering. And the second one would be definitely Newegg. So let me bring that one over here. Now Newegg has an extra breakdown just specifically for Black Friday here. Click on that, and these are all their Black Friday deals. Interesting laptop for just over $1,000. I ultimately will be looking for a laptop probably later next year. We'll see how that goes. But I'd like to have one that's powerful enough for me to do my video editing on. Sorry I'm not listening to the chat, so let me take a quick look over there. Hey Jeremy, how you doing? Thanks for attending. I appreciate it. I loved your live stream earlier today. It covered a lot of points. I know you ran into some technical challenges, but I've been there, and everything still worked well enough for us to really not even have noticed if you didn't say anything. So back on the Newegg, one thing I do like about Newegg, let me back up here. I just want to show you something. You see this here where they show an item that they met my asking price? Probably about 3 months ago, I put down this power supply that I'd like to get below $80 with free shipping. And that's exactly what happened here. This item came up, click on it and you'll see what I mean. And it's one that I've been looking for. In addition, there was an extra $5 promo off from it. So guess what? Let me reach back here. Okay, let me switch to the camera again. And here we go. There's the power supply, unopened at this point. It's going to just sit on the shelf in case I need it. Now, I had one of these sitting on my shelf, but I wound up having to use it. On the computer that I lent to my daughter, it started having some power supply issues. It seemed to be working okay, but it was making some strange noises from the power supply. And for her purposes of using it for taking a standardized test, that wasn't going to work out too well for her. So what I did is me and my younger son went over there and troubleshot it a little bit, and I brought the power supply with me, and sure enough, we wound up having to change it out. And now I'm trying to get the other one RMA'd from Corsair. We'll see how that goes out. They've already bounced back and forth with me on a couple of emails related to that. Let me switch back to the screen. And so this is one of the things I really liked about Newegg. And I think I mentioned Newegg previously. If we go back to the home page here, what I always come into, whether it's Black Friday or not, is I look at their deals. I look at the top deals they have there, but usually there's not much of interest for what I'm looking for. But then I click on See All Deals, and then I come down here and look. I mean, virtually every computer case I bought have been ones that I saw here that they were running a sale on, and they were cases that had the type of features I was looking for. Some didn't, but they were so dirt cheap I couldn't even resist them. So I think I mentioned before, I got a stockpile of cases, some of which I've already shown in the last few PC builds that I've done, but I still have a couple of them I didn't even open up yet. So I come here and I look through this. It sort of repeats at this point, so this is the real beginning of it. You see some decent price drops all along the way on a lot of this stuff, and this is normal. This is not something that is Black Friday related necessarily. And you can just click in at the very bottom. If I wound up going through at least 6 or 7 pages of this, and sometimes the good stuff is not until page 6 or page 7. Things like a really low-cost case. I don't know if I see any tonight or not. Let me see here. Let me see, what would stop my eyes here? A monitor might stop my eyes if it's a really good deal. Definitely power supplies, but 460 watts is not something I'd be interested in. I mean, nothing below about 750 these days for me would be worthwhile getting with the things that I'm doing. But these Corsair fans, that would always interest me. And if the price was just a little bit lower, I probably would go for that. I am also looking for a 4 terabyte hard drive to stuff into my streaming rig here as a backup of backup of backup type area. But I bought a lot of memory, I bought a lot of power supplies. Here's that same power supply that I bought, sitting right over here. Free shipping, $79.99 plus another $5 off, right? Yep. So I just go through this and I check out a few of the pages and see what's interesting. I do that almost every day, to be honest with you. So let's back up on this again. I'm not sure how much I went through the Black Friday stuff. Let me go back to that. So again, this is interesting to come and spend some time. I didn't get a chance to look at this in any detail yet, but I will. I am looking for not a 590, but a 690 board. I doubt I'd see it here, but you never know. You never know. And again, I'm thinking about a future build that I want to do. And as I always do, which was recommended to me at Vid Summit about changing my banner to my page, I should indicate that I'm somewhat thrifty and I look for cheap stuff. So I buy it when it's on sale and until I get all the pieces that I'm looking for, and then I would use that to build whatever I'm trying to build. What do we got here? There's a 2K monitor. That's not a bad price, but Acer, LG is my preference, to be honest with you. But I also let's see. I don't see anything jumping out at me right now, but I just wanted to show this and show where I'm going to be spending some time, even before Black Friday. Let me show the last one, which I'm sure everybody here knows is one of my favorites as well, and that is Micro Center. And in terms of Micro Center, I have never, how come this is not, I'm grabbing the wrong window, that would help. Let me go to Micro Center. Here we go. That's better. I don't order things, although you can. They will ship stuff to you. Not everything, but some things. But what I go here for is when I go to the store. And I will look, here's a Black Friday special for them too. And they're doing a pre-Black Friday set of sales as well. Although it's not clickable. I have something clickable up here. Black Friday. It looks like they don't have a whole window drawn out, just a bunch of specials. Oh, here we go. So these are their Black Friday deals. I always make sure that I'm in the store that I want, which is Westbury, right? That's the one that's the closest to me, about 15 minutes away when traffic behaves. And I would go through here and see what's interesting. 27 inch, and that's just 1080p. I'm looking for another one of these 4K monitors I have here. That would be fantastic if I get one of those for the same price I got these. Be nice to get you know, another one of those. And over here that you click the little arrow and you can go to the several different pages along the way. Oops. Okay. They have a 12700K for 400. That's pretty good. I think I might start off with a 12900K though when I do an Intel 12th Gen build, which will probably, hopefully, be next year sometime. In terms of a laptop, I really want to get a 17 inch. I don't see any jumping out at me here. So I just wanted to show some of the things that I look for. I will be visiting Micro Center on Black Friday as well, along with a couple of other stores. Possibly Best Buy. Sometimes they'll have something on a good sale. I don't hold my breath anymore with them, but you never know. I'll go for a good sale for whoever happens to have one. So I think that covers all of the special Black Friday deals that I want to do. By the way, the camera that I'm using here, it's my newest camera. It's my Sony ZV-E10. That's a heck of a designation. They could have made it a lot simpler, but so far it's a pretty good camera. I like how it works. It's similar to the ZV-1, but it has features the ZV-1 does not have, and including it's a much crisper picture. And it has a larger sensor, APC sensor rather than the 1-inch sensor that the ZV-1 has. My ZV-1, by the way, is hanging right up here as the camera. That's the overhead camera, which I'll be using in a couple of minutes as I do the next part of this live stream. But just to let you know, that's what's on here right now. The other thing that's different here with my setup tonight, as well I might as well say it as we're at talking about it, is let me switch over to something and you'll see what I mean. If I switch to my all, in this display here, I have every connection to my computer. I have my left webcam, which is a webcam up at the ceiling on the left-hand side there. I have my rear webcam over here on the right, which is one right behind me over here. I have my front monitor webcam, which is sitting right here in front of me on my right screen, screen number 1. Then I have my primary camera, which I really didn't use other than while you were waiting. If you happened to got here before I started, you'd have seen the image from that camera, which is my Panasonic FZ1000 camera, my original 4K camera. And then you see over to the right in the center, that's the ZV-E10. And of course the overhead one, which I skipped by, that is the ZV-1 looking down at the next topic that we will be talking about. Okay. And then I have, of course, a screen capture on the left screen, so you can see my my YouTube studio as I see it. It says I have 10 concurrent viewers. That's great. Looks like I was as high as 11 at one point, but that's good. And then I have a PC input. And what I wanted to point out by all of this is the overhead, the primary camera, the secondary camera, and the PC input are all through my latest capture card, which I bought. I just released a video of that a couple of days ago. And that's the Elgato, what's it called? Cam Link Pro, which is basically 4 cam links. Switch out of this now. It's actually 4 of their 4K, not 60s, but the 4K, if you would have a 4K 30, it would be 4 of those on one card directly connected to the PCI bus. And so I have it here in my streaming rig, and I have all 4 of those HDMI connections going right into it right now, and you saw all 4 of them. Now I don't have my the PC that I have connected to it turned on right now. I may turn that on a little bit later, but I don't need to look at it right now. That's why you saw when I went to the all situation, you saw the PC input. It just showed Elgato no input. If I turned on that PC, you would see it boot up. Well, just for the heck of it, let me do that. I think I have it plugged in. Let me just power this guy up and see what we get. Okay, it's coming on. Let me switch to it. That's the PC. That's port number 4 on that Elgato Camlink Pro. So at this point, that PC is connected to that HDMI, and here it comes. It's booting up. And that's a PC that has mostly parts in it that are going to go into my upgraded streaming rig at some point. I won't bother logging into it, but that is the 4th input. If I go to all again, now you see it in the lower right-hand corner. So that's another change I've made to my streaming configuration here. Okay. I'll just shut this guy down here. I don't need it up right now. Hopefully it shuts down. Let me now go to the main point of today's discussion. What I have here is a new NEXIGO camera. Now I've reviewed, it's actually a webcam, but a very large webcam, it looks like, at least. I didn't open up yet, but the box is pretty big. I think it's actually like, almost 7 inches in width when I open this up. Still has the shrink wrap on it. I didn't open it up at all yet, so we're going to open up here live. And the thing I like about this one is it's 4K. It'll be my first 4K webcam, and if it works out well, and NEXIGO doesn't want it back, then I will replace the webcam that's sitting up on the top of my screen number 1 with that one. It has to be connected to a USB 3.0 port, which is, what you'd expect since it is running at 4K. And I think it's 4K 30. So if it works out well, it doesn't have the sensor size of some of these cameras that I have here, but it might be pretty good. It might be as high quality as some 4K security devices that companies buy and now monitor their perimeter security on their buildings, for example. That's what I'm expecting it to look like, based upon the specifications, the 8 megapixels and so forth, that this thing, according to what I've read, what it comes with. So with that, let me switch cameras here. I gotta turn the light on. There we go. That turns the light on the overhead. I moved my buttons around on my Elgato Stream Deck earlier, so I'm trying to get used to those. Here's the overhead right here. Oh, we're getting a little reflection here, which won't last long. I just gotta get this shrink wrap out of the way. Let me get my handy dandy package opener that I have here. We'll open this guy up. Seems like a nice box. I'll try not to ruin it. Oh, yeah, it is high quality, that's for sure. By the way, is everybody hearing me okay tonight? I've been monitoring it. That's why I have a headset on tonight, which I connected up to my my mixer just to make sure I could hear everything. Let me see. I see Sin with a couple of comments. There's also Build APC Sales.new. So they're I don't know if that shows up to you or not. It's very close to a link, which usually is a problem. And they talk about he's talking about some of the sales that are okay there. Thanks, Jeremy. The sound sounds okay. My next build, well, if you're talking about a full build, that probably won't be till next year. But what I'll be doing is I take that back. Some are going to be such massive upgrades that, let me switch this over. Some are going to be such massive upgrades that they will be the same as a full build as far as I'm concerned. Let me take this headset off. And I just want to make sure, since I moved all of the cams around, that I didn't actually pick up some background microphone somewhere, which happened to me once that I found out right before a live stream. So the next build will probably be a massive upgrade, and that'll probably be either to my streaming rig, which that's scheduled to go, which it'll get a new motherboard, it'll get the new M2 drive that is PCIe 4 rather than the one that's in there, the 3. I've already got the new Camlink Pro in there just to test it and make sure it works, but it'll be a bunch of things added to that, and I'll have to do that as a video. That won't be a live stream because I won't have my live stream computer. It'll be down as I move everything from this one that I have down on the floor here right now over to this one. And then another one that'll be a massive upgrade is my server. My Sigma NAS server will be a massive upgrade as well. So just to answer your questions. Okay, but let me get started with this, and I'll take questions after I do the initials with this one and make sure that we get a decent review of it. I plan on turning from this part of the video till I complete the review on this into a separate video. It'll be edited, of course. I'll edit it out so it's only this piece, but also if I stop along the way and answer a question or something, that'll wind up probably getting edited out as well. So let me open this guy up, go to the overhead. I think I'm doing it right, yeah. Whoa. Well, right off the bat, they're giving me a 3-meter cable. This is an interesting one. I noticed that when I was reading the manual, it actually has USB B to A. So what connects to the camera is this USB Type B cable. 3.0 though. It is a 3.0. Let me drag this over a little bit because it looks like it's a little bit out. So that's what we have here. It did say 3 meters, so I assume it's about a little over 9 feet. Let me get this out of here. Strange they put the cable right up front. Definitely USB 3.0 according to connector colors. You never know until you actually test it. So that's about a 9-foot cable. I would say that's about right. I'll put that on the side here. Let's get this cushioning out of the way. Here's the manual. I will be showing the manual in a few minutes, the online version of it. I did find it at the NEXIGO site. They make you do a sign-in to get to a storage location in order to download it. But it looks like a pretty complete manual from what I've seen so far. And then what do we got here? camera itself, I guess. Oh, we got the camera. It is quite wide, that's for sure. There we go. I touched the lens. I hope I didn't smudge it. It's got standard webcam holder, and it's got a 1/4-inch mount for a tripod. Well, that's good. We'll try that out. And this is a big feature here. This part here, it comes with a remote control. Now I did see, and let me just verify that that's true, and it is true. They didn't give batteries with it. So I think it's written on the box too, but that's a little surprising. You know, you spend the amount of money that this is going to cost you, you would think they'd give you a couple of AAA batteries. So I did bring some. Oh, it's got a tear here. Let me see how that sounds. Whoops, I completely botched that tear. Oh well, happens. I did bring some batteries. These are out of my stock of batteries. They're brand new. And looks like we can pick it up in here. Follow the battery guide. Yeah, it's only 2, that's good. I think I saw only 2 is needed. There we go. We'll test it in a minute. Let's see, anything interesting here? Model number, serial number. Here's the connector for the cable, the Type B. So I guess what I'll do at this point is I will see if I can hook it up and see what it looks like. Well, it's a hefty connector, that's for sure. Plug it in over here to, let me switch cameras to main. I'll plug it right here on this PC. The Type A 3.0, which I happen to have right up here. According to this, let me see here. Oh, it did see it. Setting up device, according to my screen. Okay. Let me switch to the overhead again, and it says device is ready. NEXIGO N970p 4K. So it has a power on switch here. I wonder if that works. Or does it matter? I guess the first thing I should do is see if I can open up a window here. Let me open up a camera. I'll go to the camera utility first. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems for OBS. It shouldn't, but you never know. Switch over to this, it'll be a whole bunch of cameras I'm catching, but that's okay. Let me go over to the screen capture. There we go. So let's switch cameras here. Let's see what we got. Doesn't seem to. So here's the other camera. There's my overhead. Oh, there we go. Picked it up. Here's my orange juice. I could use a swig of that, actually. This just plain orange juice. I don't do anything else when I'm live. Let's look around here, see what we got. I'll try to enable it in OBS in a minute. There's my PC up close. How does it look? Looks like it's catching it pretty good. Stream Deck, keyboard. Okay. My wife's going to probably be a little upset that I caught some, parts of the room that I probably shouldn't have. But let me go ahead now and switch this up to, I'll put it on top of a monitor. How's that? Put it up here. Let's see what we get. Okay, the wire's dangling at this point. Oh, and now the whole thing fell. The other camera is sort of in the way a little bit. There we go. Now I should be able to get it. Okay. Straighten myself out. Okay. Before, let me see, does this remote work? It's supposed to be an on-screen display. So let's see, is it on? Now that's off. That's why it's froze. Turn it back on again. Okay, so the power button does work. Right, the power button over here. Let's see. All of these buttons, by the way, you don't get to call anybody on the phone or anything. They have presets here. I didn't read the manual deep enough yet to find out exactly how you do the presets, but you're supposed to have up to 10 of them, so I guess it sort of makes sense. 1 through 9 and then 0, so there's 10 presets you can do. And there's a button for it. Now, this camera is not autofocus. The manual actually says it, so that focus button there does not do anything. It's a fixed focus camera. But let me see, does the zoom work? Oh yeah, the zoom works. So I'm hitting the zoom button here. Bottom, zoom out. Supposed to be up to a 10 times zoom. How's that? I noticed number 1 was blinking. I guess you can pick multiple cameras with this. Yeah, I think that was what the instructions did say. I didn't focus on that a lot, but you can put up to 4 cameras with the same remote. So I guess there's different types that'll do this as well. It's supposed to be able to do pan and tilt too. Let's see what that does. Let me hit these little arrows here. I might be too close or too far, I'm not sure. Zoom in. Let me see, does that let me then pan? Yeah, you have to be zoomed in for the pan to work. How about the tilt? Yep, it lets you go up and down. So I'm just using these little 4 little arrows here to play around with that. Well, pretty good. Now it has some advanced functions too, which I'm not sure if I'll be able to test it easily today or not. I may have to set it up. You can set it up so that if you have the camera will automatically center on the subjects, on the people that it recognizes in the image. And you got to turn on these options. Let me see. I think you got to go into a menu. It is a menu button over here. Yep, on-screen display. So once you get the on-screen display, you can actually, again, the little arrow keys up and down, you can change your exposure. I guess you hit the center for select. Yep. Right now it's on auto. I can actually change it to manual. Okay. And I went back to auto. Exposure value, the exposure value is off. BLC, you can turn flicker, there's a gain limit, all these options. Wow, let me back up here. How do I get back? Go this way probably. Oh no, I'm hitting the wrong button here. Oh, I gotta jump down to the bottom, is that what I gotta do? Select, change value. How do I get out of this? Hit menu again. Yeah, I gotta hit menu to back up the menu, just like one of those Sony cameras. You can change the color, the image. What do you got here? Brightness, contrast, sharpness. You can flip horizontally. Let me try that. Wow. So it flips horizontally. Let me flip back. Flip vertically. I'm going to go upside down now, I guess, right? Let's see here. Yep, now I'm upside down. Okay. Let me go. Turn that off. Black and white mode. Okay, let me see what we got here. Yep, went into black and white mode. That's interesting. I'll get out of that. Change the count, the gamma, low light. Not sure. I'd have to look up all these options. I didn't look them up yet. Open, closed. Okay. Let's hit menu and go back up. The menu is just a little edge here you got to hit. It's not. It doesn't. Sort of like around the edge here. You got to sort of hit that little button right here to switch it. You got noise reduction. You got version doesn't matter. Restore defaults. I may have to do that after I mess it up a little bit. What's in setup again? Image style, USB mode. What are the choices here? ISOC or bulk? Effective. Oh, it's effective after restart. Oh, so I'd have to restart it in order for that option to become effective. Let me back up here. Like I said, it's supposed to be a mode in here, and I have to look in the manual, I guess, to find it. But it's supposed to allow you to automatically center the subjects. I'm not sure exactly where that would be. Maybe under image? Brightness, contrast, sharpness. It doesn't seem like it's there. Okay. Menu. It's got a noise reduction. Well, you can 2D noise reduction on or off, and noise reduction 3D. I guess you set a value for. Won't play with that right now. Okay, what is that doing? What's version doing? That just tells me the version 1.03, August of 2021. Okay. Back it up. And then that's the end of the on-screen display. There's a lot of other options probably to this. But let me put it into OBS so we can check the sound out. I think that might be a good thing to try, right? So let me go and create an OBS for this. I gotta create a scene. I'll create a new one here. I'll call it the NEXIGO. What is it called? It's a 9 something, right? Yeah, 970p. 970p. Say okay to that. Now we have a blank here. You still should be hearing me okay. So So let me add in a video source. Video capture source. Let's go to a new one is the 970p. I'll just add that 970p. And it defaulted to my #1 camera. NEXIGO, here it is, 970. Let's see, does it automatically pick up here? I have to turn the resolution probably. Doesn't seem to be picking up. No, does not seem to be picking up through OBS right now. Properties, what did I do wrong? Configure video. It's got camera controls, you can zoom in, zoom out. It does seem to zoom, that's for sure. I'm watching the other screen. So this does work. Cancel, I went back to normal. Device default. I'm not going to exit OBS, so if I can't get this to work here, I will have to do it separately when I make the formal review of this video. Why it's not seeing it? Let me try a different resolution. Custom. Let's try 1080p. No. Configure video. No. Let me start over again. Pretty sure you're going to remove the 970p. Yes. Okay. Turn the camera off and on again. Okay, Jeremy, let me try that. It's off and on. I did not exit other software. That's a good point. Let me exit this thing. That might be interfering with it. Thank you, Jeremy. I wanted to do that fast because the camera utility does seem to... Uh-oh. Did I crash OBS? Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me? Uh-oh. It did not like that at all. Is anything broadcasting? Let me see. Let me go to... you can still hear me, you just can't see me, okay? Let me see. According to this, there's nothing coming out. Let me see if I can switch cameras. Oh, it looks like it came back. Let me go to this. Oh, here we go. Let's see if this recovers. There we go. It did cover. Well, for some reason, it crashed on me. Oh well. I'll try that one more time. And we'll see what happens here. Looks like I've still got sound coming out. Let me... I'm not going to mess with that one. I want the NEXIGO one. Here we go. Okay. So let's create a video capture device. Let's add an existing. Oh, it looks like it didn't permanently take it. So let me create a new one. Sometimes it causes a conflict though when I try to do that. Okay. Now I have double sound coming in. The 970 sound is coming in too. Let me cut that off. Okay, I did see, now the 970 does show up. Let me switch to the 970. Hey, that did it. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. You solved it for me. I had to cycle that guy off and on again with the remote control in order for it to work. Right? Matter of fact, that camera's looking at me now, right? Okay. So you should see me. You should hear me. What is the resolution? Let me see if I can set up a custom resolution. Hope that didn't crash it again, but let me put it on 1080p. There we go. Now I'm in 1080p. I am not broadcasting in anything larger than 1080p, but let me see. Here's 1440. Let's go to 4K. Oh, it does show up. Okay. So let me say okay to this for now. That looks like it's working. Let me shrink this window down a little bit. So there we go. Can everybody see that? Let me switch to sound. Right now I'm still using my lapel microphone going through my mixer. I will turn that off and turn on the NEXIGO sound and see what it sounds like. I don't think I'll be able to hear it though easily unless I configured output, which I'm not going to play with OBS right now. But this thing should be zooming in and zooming out now. Oh, that was a big jump. Wow, that guy really, a lot more than I thought it was going to jump. Let me see if I can pan back down. Oh, went the wrong way. Oh, there, oops. It's like steering a boat. It's like steering a boat. It's not like driving a car, but it does work. I won't play with the colors or anything at this point. I'll take it as it is. It's supposed to be coming out of 4K. I'm not sure what it's translating to, whatever I have set for OBS at this point. We're at 55 minutes. Yeah, we're at 55 minutes. So I did want to end this as close to an hour as I can today. Let me switch to the sound. I'll turn this guy down completely. Back up. Okay. For some reason I can't switch to the sound at this point on the camera. It's not outputting any sound. Let me go into the options for the camera. Properties. and see what I have here in terms of sound options. Yeah, I had turned down the sound hoping that I could get the NEXIGO to work, but I'm not picking up the sound on that. What if I switch to custom audio device? Oh, now that I picked it up. I had to do that little option. Okay, now you're hearing me through the actual NEXIGO camera. It's supposed to have 2 mics on each side of this very wide camera here. Does anybody hear that? Does anybody hear it coming through okay? Testing 1, 2, 3. I'm talking to the webcam. I'm about 2.5 feet away from it. Okay. It does show that there's sound coming out of the camera. That's for sure. I have it enabled. Not as good as the lapel mic, but okay. Okay, well, at least you can hear it, right? I'll be listening to it later when I play it back, obviously, in order to, you know, do the full test of this and turn this into a recorded video. It'll initially go up, of course, like it usually does. Let me switch back to the other one. I'll turn. Okay, I'm back to my lapel mic. Thank you, Loretta, that you could hear that. Yeah. Playing with OBS is a little bit tricky while I'm broadcasting, so I took on a big risk by doing that. So I'm glad it all worked out. And I'm still using the this camera as the main one. And if I switch over to my normal second camera, we can look at it side by side. Obviously, we're dealing with a real camera here that's got a very large sensor to it. So that's going to definitely, you know, not be very competitive against this one. I could probably put them both side by side here. But you know what I'll do is I'll go back to the other one, and I'll do that. I'll go back. I don't want to mess this one up. So I'll shrink this one, and then I'll put a new camera source on here, which is my number 2 camera. Video capture device. Add existing, and I believe that's CL2. Let me see. Is that CL2? Yeah, that's it. So that's the Sony camera. So here they are side by side. The light is exactly the same. I mean, it really isn't changed. Let me turn off one of these lights. I'll turn off a light on the left here, which I should not need for the Sony camera. So I turned off the overhead camera. Now I can adjust all of this. I mean, all of these options are available with the on-screen display, right? So if I come in here and I go on-screen display, it's kind of small, but I could come in here and change the exposure. So there's I could actually, you know, adjust the brightness and contrast, I believe, right? Doesn't seem to be changing it too much on this. Go back to menu setup. So I got a lot of playing around to do to see how I could make this one the best. I mean, it's an acceptable webcam. Matter of fact, probably a better matchup, which will be against this Link Pro webcam. And what I may do is when I make the video reviewing this, which will be mostly what I've just been doing here, but I may add another section to it that compares it to 2 or 3 other webcams. So let me put this aside for now. I'll put this one up in the corner. And let me bring in this other camera. Okay. Video capture. Add existing. Monitor top. So that's the monitor top. I can tell right off the bat there's a big difference there, huh? So now I got 3 cameras on here. I got the monitor top over there. I think that guy actually needs more light, so let me turn that one on again. Well, that helps hit it on the side. I would have to adjust the light in the back over there if I wanted to really do it. Let me turn that off. Makes it darker, turn it on. Anyway, that's how they all look. The 3 cameras. We have this new NEXIGO 970, right? I keep forgetting the name of it, but that's what it is. The N970p, right? The N970p. I'll put the writing here so you can see the difference on that. And I have my Sony ZV-E10. There's no competition there really. And then I have this Link, what is it called? Link Plus. And I have a review out there somewhere on my videos of that particular webcam. Let me see, did the Link Plus come in? No. I'll switch back to the sound in the new NEXIGO, and so I'll turn this sound off. And now we're listening through the sound through the new NEXIGO right here, the 4K NEXIGO. For some reason, I'm not picking up the sound on the monitor top. I probably have one of the hidden sound bars in there. I won't bother with that. It's not going to prove anything. I could switch to the Sony camera. No, I won't do that right now. We know what webcams sound like, right? So I guess with that, let me switch back to oops, sorry about that. I just got noticed that the mic was off. Okay, to back it up again, I'm going to, I think that's a quick enough review of this new webcam. I'm going to probably put a trailer on the video that I turned this into. It'll be probably the first 2/3 of it will be what we did tonight. And then I'll take a remaining 1/3 and put in there the remaining testing that I want to do with this, because I want to read through the manual and find the additional options that might be interesting for people to see, and I'll include those. I'll also try to do a couple of more webcams, and I got webcams coming out of my ears actually. This one here is, I think, my original NEXIGO that I have here. Let me open it up. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think that's my original NEXIGO that I had. That I did my first review of the NEXIGO cameras on. What is this one? This one is Maroma, the Maroma webcam that I did a review on. And I have another one sitting over here. What is this one? Oh, the other NEXIGO. This is the first NEXIGO camera I reviewed. The other one I showed was actually a more advanced version. This is one that I bought out of my own pocket. That was the original NEXIGO webcam that did very well in terms of views on my channel, because it was very, very cheap, to be honest with you. So I got a couple of NEXIGOs here. I have some other ones, but they're currently on other computers being used right now, including, I showed you the Link Plus already, which is sitting up there. So I'll try to do a few more of those. I know that the Jeremy had said he'd be interested in me doing a video showing them all running on Linux. And that's a very good idea, and that's on my list to do. It probably wouldn't be till after, this coming Thanksgiving holiday, but it is something that I'd like to do. Bring up my Linux box, which is sitting right over here on the floor, and matter of fact, if I switch over to the NEXIGO camera. Turning off the sound, of course, first. I had double sound there. Then if you look down right over here on the floor, there it is right there, this one. So that HP refurbished PC that I have, that's running Linux. So I'm going to take that and try to make a video testing all of these webcams with it. And I'll include this new one as well, if I still have it. Again, they didn't ask for it back, but you never know. So let me go back to the main one. Okay, so I think with that, I'm gonna make it an early evening tonight, and I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish. And look forward to the video that follows this, which will be the completed version of the review of that camera. And we'll see how it looks when I try the other options. Does anybody have any questions, though, before I go? I don't want to drag it on too long tonight, but I could do 5 more minutes of questions if people have any. I don't see anything popping up. It's an 8-second delay, so I'll give it a few more seconds, and then we'll call it an evening. I think let's see. Oh, you're quite welcome, Cabrera. Thank you for attending, Cabrera. I really appreciate it. Anybody else have a question or anything? Looking forward to the next videos. It might be good to a stopgap camera until the ZV-E10 is available. Oh, it's not available right now? The E10? They're not running any sales on it, but I got it at, I think, the minimum price you could get it. So I lucked out a little bit. But this camera is gonna, if you click on the link down below, as of the time of the filming, which just won't appear in the final review, but if you looked at it right now, the link in Amazon, let me go there and take a look. Oh yeah? Did you try B&H? That's where I bought this from. They actually subbed it to somebody else, but I got both of my ZVs, both of my Sony cameras from B&H. So that might be a place to try. I'm trying to remember what it was. I got it with the kit lens, so I think it was 740. I think that's what it was, approximately 740. Less than a video card. But I needed another one. I was, like I said, when I reviewed this one, I was thinking about getting another ZV-1, which that didn't really go down in price much either. But I figured I might as well try something different, as I said in that video. But let me see what this NEXIGO camera currently is. Let's go into Amazon. Let's look at my history. You're getting to see everything I look at here, okay? And I have somewhere in here. Where is it? Here's a ZV-1 for $648. But where's the NEXIGO one? Definitely had it in here. I'll have to, let me click on the link. That'll probably be the best way to do it. So let me, let me go down to the link and click on that. It's a link that's actually on this video already. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see it. Let's see. Oh, I gotta turn the sound off on that. Okay, so here it is. As of right now, the camera is listed for $199.99. I don't see any sales on it right now. Oh, you do get $60 off if you want to get an Amazon card. But that's where it's at right now. This one, so it's going to cost $200 to get this camera. But that won't appear in my final review video because I like to keep my videos evergreen, and that is not the way to do it. You know, putting prices of stuff on there. So that's usually what I've been trying to avoid for quite a while. I think my first year I did not avoid it, but now I do. So that prices change all the time because I wound up getting into trouble with those little capture cards. I originally had bought like 2 of them to do a review on, and then the prices completely seesawed on both of them, and they reversed from where they were at. Anyway, any other questions? I will, if not, I will call it a somewhat early evening. And we'll see how it goes in the future. Again, as of right now, I'm scheduled to do another one in 2 weeks, which would be December 5th. And if I do that, let's see, December 5th, the one after that would be December 19th, and the one after that will probably be January 2nd. But with that holiday, I may decide to reschedule things for the first quarter of next year, but we'll see how it goes. So as of right now, the next one will be for this, will be 2 weeks from today. So that'll be December 5th. With that, I thank everybody for attending tonight, and hopefully you got something out of it. Please put any comments down in the bottom of the replay video if you have any suggestions for future live streams. I'm always looking forward to ideas like that. Otherwise, I thank you for attending. So good night. Take care.